Shiva, if two spiritual people are having a conversation together, are they reading random live chats from people and platforming them?
Well, if they
If
donate.
Seattle is giving a Dhamma talk, is he reading thoughts and comments from other people? We're not going to be able to have a real conversation if you can't cut the shit with the people who are commenting. You want to have a conversation between me or you, or you want to have a conversation between me and you and the people online? What's it going to be? Because I'll walk away right now.
Okay, let's go have a conversation. And I'll restart the live stream. Alright, I'm gonna restart the live stream because the it's a little bit stagnant here. So join back in 30 seconds. See you there.
your fear right here. Now I got your fear right here. Now I got your fear right here. Now I got your fear right here.
So the offer still stands. If anyone would like to donate $1,000 for me to stop smoking, you're welcome to do that. And I certainly will stop smoking with the power of your generosity. After the meditation retreat is finished, we will open up again the Monk Life Meditation Motorbike fundraising project. We're looking at a $2,000 e-bike. We're going to go electric this time, and it turns out, because I wasn't planning to get an electric bike with the original GoFundMe, so it turns out that this will probably be better for everyone involved, especially the earth. So that will be a $3,000 project we're hoping for. That's our hopeful goal. And we'll see about how we want to go in raising or setting up a GoFundMe for the Dr. Rob Stopping Smoking Fund. And hey, if you want to make Dr. Rob feel a little bit difficult, donate $1,000 to the Stop Smoking project, and that's going to be very difficult for me, but I dare to do it. It's actually called a Quantum One. The bike that we're looking at here in Vietnam is called the Quantum One. You might want to look into it and let me know if you know about e-bikes and technology in that way. Then maybe you can let me know what the statistics are on that bike, if it's good, and if it's going to be suitable, because I'm pretty heavy set. I'm 250 pounds, big boned. Yeah, I'm living in Vietnam. I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. I'm now here in the meditation retreat. It's pretty good, great. So, well, either I'll be experiencing difficulty by stopping my nicotine addiction, cold turkey, or I'll be a saint. So either ways, the donors win. Okay, that's not appropriate first to watch. I'm gonna remove that comment. Thank you for your $2 donation. Did you get a chance to talk with my teacher, Shiva?
Psychically.
Okay. Great job, Voodoo. Yeah, you know, and that's one of the things about addiction is there's people dealing with fentanyl addiction, there's people dealing with alcoholic addiction, and it's a little bit disrespectful to them to make this big deal about my personal choice to smoke at this time. It's honestly not that big of a deal. Of course, I don't want to smoke, but I have an affinity for nicotine, and the action, the mental oral fixation. So I would like to stop smoking, and I'd like to get the motorbike as well. So we're looking to raise $4,000 in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Who knows? It might happen a lot sooner than that. The GoFundMe that we set up for the motorbike project, we raised $3,000 in 2 days. So it may happen a lot sooner than we think that it will. But anyways, let's get to the Dharma. What did you get experience with from your time with Seattle? Did you actually talk with him or not?
I just listened.
Tabarwa has a wonderful monastery in the south of Italy. Tabarwa is the organization that I'm a part of, that I was a monk in for 7 years, but it's currently sitting empty, so it's not being used right now. But in the future, it may in fact be opened up again. So we're not here begging on the internet. We're here at the Buddhist monastery. I am here at the Buddhist monastery. My name is Dr. Rob. I'm the founder of the Monk Life Meditation Institute. I'm here to teach the Dharma and help people access the wonderful world of Buddhism.
shivakailash.com/donate. Krish, maybe you can type that and I'll pin it. Just the way I do it on my live streams.
Yeah, thank you, Dominion. That's really nice. Dominion says, just gotta let it go. It's just another distraction making your mind more hectic. I just recently quit nicotine because I didn't want something to have the ability to make me agitated. That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Demonian. This is about Buddhism and meditation. I also have my Kindle here, so we'll have an opportunity to look at some of the deep Buddhist teachings and suttas for those people who are seriously interested. Seeing treasures or relatives in a dream, you are happy. When you think of them upon awakening, you do not know where they are. Think of Buddha in this way. Also, suppose there is a girl whose very name delights the heart, and at night one dreams of making love with her. After awakening, thinking of her, though she has not come to you and you have not gone to her, yet the pleasures were manifest. Think of Buddha in this way. Someone traveling in a wasteland, hungry and thirsty, dreams of getting fine food, then finds his belly empty upon awakening, and reflects that all things are like dreams. Think of Buddha in this way. Reflecting over and over again did not stop. By this reflection, you should be born in the land of Amitabha Buddha. This is called thinking of Buddha in terms of similitudes. It is like someone putting a jewel on crystal, so reflections appear therein. It is also like a monk contemplating bones, with the bones producing various kinds of light. No one brings the reflection, and there are no such bones. They are mentally produced. That is all. Reflections in a mirror do not come from outside and do not arise within. One spontaneously sees one's features because the mirror is clear. Insofar as the practitioner is physically pure, what is there is pure. Wishing to see Buddha, you see Buddha. Seeing Buddha, you ask questions, and the questions are answered. Hearing this discourse, you are very joyful. Voodoo child, let's be kind, eh? Think to yourself, where does Buddha come from? And I go nowhere. I see what I think of. Mind makes Buddha. Mind itself, seeing mind, sees the Buddha mind. This Buddha mind is my mind seeing Buddha. Mind does not itself know mind. Mind does not itself see mind. When there are thoughts in the mind, this is confusion. When there are no thoughts in the mind, this is nirvana. There is no representing this teaching. All is made by thought. Even if there is thought, still ultimately there is nothing, it being empty. Consider the following verses. Mind does not know mind. Having a mind, one does not see mind. Producing thoughts is confusion. No thought is nirvana. The Buddhas attain liberation by way of mind. The mind, without defilement, is called pure. Immaculate in all states of being, it does not take on form. Those who understand this attain the great way. Producing thoughts is confusion. No thoughts is nirvana. Is that allowed or is that not allowed? Do you allow that? You do. You allow that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the people watching at home, is that allowed or is that not allowed? It's not allowed. Okay. Well, for Josh Collins, he says it's not allowed. So Theo says it's not allowed. Anybody else say that it's not allowed? Producing thoughts is confusion. No thought is nirvana. No thought is enlightenment. No thought is awakening. This is called the Buddha seal. There is nothing to crave, nothing to seek, nothing to think. All that exists is ended. All that is desired is ended. Nothing is born from it. Nothing can perish. Nothing is destroyed. This is the essence of the path, the basis of the path. This seal cannot be broken by the two vehicles of individual salvation, much less by demons or hypocrites. Shiva is someone who's taken the Hippocratic Oath. I myself do not align myself with Hippocrates. I think he's a crock. I think he's a fool. I think he's a charlatan. And he doesn't represent my philosophy, my psychology, or my practice. There's no Dharma in there, that's for sure. You have to go inside to find your Dharma to respond and to share. Don't look for it there. That's about as problematic as killing a hare. Don't you dare, it won't be fair. So let's find our way, right? Hare. Mind does not know mind. Having a mind, one does not see mind. So, how can a thought know itself? How can a thought hold itself? A thought can't hold anything. It's like a cloud trying to hold a skyscraper. So, mind does not know mind. Having a mind, one does not see mind. It's like trying to see your own eyes. So if you have a mind, if you identify with your mind and your thoughts, you cannot see your mind. Producing thoughts is confusion. No thought is nirvana. Now, my understanding, my relationship with this teaching is why some people say that I am kind of like a Tibetan crazy wisdom hermit kind of character. I don't support those people. I don't believe those people. I think those people are deranged and they need to find a real spiritual teacher. But just to let people know, that's why some people have that idea about me. Producing thoughts is confusion. No thought is nirvana. So for many people here who are watching these live streams and being involved, if you were actually at the monastery, you would be in the position of being a mental patient. Because you're not coming here to practice. You're just coming here to make problems and complain and create drama and not take refuge in the Dharma. So what are you doing here? You're a mental patient here, and you're welcome here. So in the Tabarwa ecosystem, there are mental patients, volunteers, yogis, monks and nuns, and of course the donors kind of come in and go out most of the time. Sometimes the donors live at the temple, but not usually. So in being here, you have to allow or allot space for the Dharma, the teachings of Buddha. Consider the following verses. Producing thoughts is confusion. No thought is nirvana. So like Midnight Dracula, you are a mental patient here. Let's see if we see any mental patients here. Yeah, so why do you do this to me as a mental patient here? Any other mental patients here? Oh, a little bit shy, huh? Nothing wrong. And also, one of the reasons that I get a little bit rough and tough with people is because who says that it's wrong to be a mental patient? Who says that it's wrong to be a crazy person? Everybody needs help. Well, this is not a mental patient center. Most of the mental patients in Tabarwa are in the main center in Myanmar. But in you trying to start problems and trying to start drama, you would also be considered a mental patient by the people who are informed. Just FYI. There's no space in Sayadaw or in the enlightened community or people who have realization of like someone's coming up to start drama from a place of ignorance and attachment and ego, and they say, "You're right, we should start some drama. Let's start some drama, everybody." So you have to look at that and consider about that very clearly. We don't play those games in the Sangha. That's why there's a very big separation between monks and nuns and lay people. Monks and nuns deal with their things internally, and lay people, kind of go to the monks and nuns to help them out. So it's cool. I mean, fundamentally, it's cool and it's interesting and it's joyful. But when we take an environment like this and we try to create drama and we try to create stress and we try to harass people and try to make weird things happen, when we don't know about the actual situation and we're not willing to actually come here and practice, it's just the activity of a mental patient. So Bruce Wayne would be another mental patient. Anyways, maybe not that much efficacy in that style of approach. So consider the following verses. Mind does not know mind. You can't see your own mind when you're identified with your own mind. When it's your mind, you can't see it. Thought does not hold anything. Thought does not understand anything. It's like a cloud trying to hold a human body. So your thoughts trying to hold the world or reality, that is the nature of your ignorance and attachment and your delusion. Thoughts cannot hold reality. Thoughts cannot encapsulate reality. Reality is not based in thoughts. What does it say? Consider the following verses. Producing thoughts. I know that a lot of people don't allow this. That's why you're considered a mental patient. Producing thoughts is confusion. No thought is nirvana. The Buddhas attain liberation by way of mind. The mind without defilement is called pure. Immaculate in all states of being, it does not take on form. It does not take on a character. It does not take on an agency. It does not take on personhood. It does not take on a form of self or other, or right or wrong, or good or bad. Immaculate in all states of being. Those who understand this attain the great way. This is called the Buddha seal. There is nothing to crave, nothing to seek, nothing to think. All that exists is ended. All that is desired is ended. Nothing is born from it. Nothing can perish. Nothing is destroyed. This is the essence of the path, the basis of the path. No thought is the basis of the path. No thinking is the basis of the path. We don't know what Sayadaw does. This is just a thought. This is just confusion. Producing thoughts is confusion. Producing thoughts is confusion. No thought is nirvana. Now, everybody here, check with your Buddhist teachers. Check with your master. I'm gonna ask Sayadaw this question. I'm gonna bring this up and ask him what he says. But you check it. I didn't write this. I read it. That is called producing thought. We're not having a conversation. It's like trying to have a conversation with a knife that's cutting through your neck. There's no conversation to be had. But I'm a real person and I can say things and think things and you're real too. That's not concerned with the Dharma. The Dharma doesn't teach that you're a real person. The Dharma teaches that there is no self. There is no real true person, a real true story. These teachings are expressions of penetrative insight. Exactly, and so is that. It's a recursive ending loop. Okay, hello, producing thoughts is just confusion. That's a thought-producing statement. That is just a thought. That is just confusion. Hello, I'm rolling the dice, baby. Somebody's gonna get it tonight. Can you hear the dice rolling? Somebody's got a choo-choo train a-comin'. It's got awareness in the engine and a face of no mind on the surface. There's a choo-choo train a-comin'. Open up your ears and eyes. You're not in a relationship with Dr. Rob. Dr. Rob is in a relationship with Buddha. And if you want to be in a relationship with Dr. Rob, you better read your Dharma. It's probably not right. It's probably not right for me to talk to people that way. But I'm an imperfect person. And if people want to protest my life and come at my house with pitchforks, well, that's my karma. I'll get that back. This statement is coming from and pointing to insight. It's not coming from and pointing to thoughts. In the same way that the moon comes from space, not your thoughts, labeling moon. So don't confuse the finger pointing at the moon for what, Shiva?
For your ass.
For the moon or your ass, exactly. Before you do that so much, you're gonna look at your hand, you're gonna have shitty fingers. You're gonna come at me or sending me messages on WhatsApp. Why do I have shit on my fingers? I don't know. It's got nothing to do with me. You're doing your stuff, I'm doing my stuff. You're living your life, I'm living my life. That's life. That's why this statement, Anon user, that's why this statement is the Dharma, Anon user, and not delusory, right? You're saying every statement that you make, this applies to. It applies to itself. It ends itself. Producing thoughts is confusion. If you produce a thought about producing thoughts is confusion, that's confusion. Where's my dice? Come on, everybody. Lucky money, big winner, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Come on, everybody. Roll the dice with me here. So your comment is producing thoughts. You're trying to come after this monk, this ancient meditation master monk who wrote this sutra, who wrote this book. Honey, you're not going to be emailing their teacher. You're not going to be writing them a letter. It ends itself. The statement ends itself. Your thoughts about that are just confusion. Producing thoughts is confusion. You need to do preliminary sadhana. You need to be respectful and practice generosity. What are you doing here bothering me and bothering my community? Get the fuck out of here, you crazy person. You can be at the center, you can be in the community, but don't come to my fucking house whinging and whining that you got shit on your hands. It's not my ass that you're putting your hands into. But look at me. There's shit on my fingers. There's shit on my hands. Can't you see it? Can't you see I'm producing thoughts? Yeah, I can. I'm not. But I'll contact your teacher and I'll tell him what you're doing. All right, crazy lady, you go and do that. You see if my teacher will lick the shit off your fingers. Here, how about this? Get some therapy, man. Explain why that tree is there, Shiva. And you'll just have to trust us that there's actually a tree over there, that I'm not trying to trick or manipulate anybody here. Shiva, explain why that tree is there.
Because it grew from the ground
And where is the ground?
down there,
Where's down there?
where we're standing on.
From your perspective. So it's an explanation according to your perspective.
Mhm.
And what is your perspective based on?
My experiences.
And what's your experiences?
Things.
Many. I bet there's a lot of your experiences, right? So show me one of your experiences right now.
I can only tell you about it.
Okay, so if you can only tell me about it, but you can't show it to me, then what am I going to do with it? How can I believe that? What if you told me you had gold and you were going to give me some of it, but you couldn't show it to me? You could just tell me about it. Should I follow you around for the rest of my life trying to get gold from you? No. So if I can't show it to you, find someone who can. And if we want someone to give us gold or show us gold, well, we're probably going to have to go there in person. Logic or sense does not create trees. It doesn't create anything. Trees just are. And calling it a tree is what, Shiva?
A farce.
A farce, a construct. What's a tree? Well, it's a tree. I've called it a tree. I think it's a tree. And the Peruvians call it something else. And the Nicaraguans call it something else. And the Africans call it something else. So what we're talking about here is sounds and words. Contensity says directed thought and evaluation is important. Okay, thanks, Contensity. Go and do 100 prostrations.
Add-on user.
Please listen closely. This is called the Buddha seal. There is nothing to crave, nothing to seek, nothing to think. All that exists is ended. All that is desired is ended. Nothing is born from it. Nothing can perish. Nothing is destroyed. This is the essence of the path, the basis of the path. How are you going to think your way into understanding that no thought is nirvana? How are you going to go from where you are to over here? You're already here. This is not easy to explain. That is why for most people interested in enlightenment or Buddhism or meditation, there's a path to go on. You can't jump to the end right away and think that you're going to get it. You're much more likely to be convincing yourself that you get it rather than actually get it. And the Buddha says there's nobody who gets it. If we want to receive teachings from someone, we have to approach them in a certain kind of way. A way of reverence, a way of sincerity, a way of genuineness. So of course, it's a little bit frustrating because I'd like to help you more. But that's something I have to detach from. So if you want to understand detachment, you have to detach from your own thoughts about detachment. If you want to understand not smoking, You have to practice not smoking. If you want to understand not thinking, you have to practice not thinking. You have to see it for yourself. I wish I could explain it more directly. I'm not the Buddha. I'm just some guy. I can't, fully explain it to you. But even for the Buddha, some people are not ready. Some people have. So the story is that after the Buddha got enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, he said, well, I guess I'll just go and die. And, I've got it, and that's great, but people aren't going to be able to understand this. People aren't going to be able to recognize this. And then it said that a deva, a great spiritual being, came down and talked to him and said, "Dear Buddha, there are those whose eyes is covered with just a little bit of dust. Maybe you can try to go and teach them." And then the Buddha went to meet the former ascetics that he was practicing with. And he explained it to them and they understood. And so the Sangha was created. Most of Buddhism is about creating a context and an appearance and an environment where people are going to be able to benefit from the teachings. Where people are going to be able to be receptive to the teachings. What is a monk? A monk is just a human being wearing robes who's into Buddhism enough to become a monk. People who say, monks don't smoke, monks don't think, monks don't do that, monks don't do this. Well, if human beings do it, then monks do it. You have to detach from your own thoughts to understand what's being said here. And you might not understand it in this life. So you have to go back to the drawing board. You have to go back to the practicing board. You have to listen to Dharma teachers. You have to practice meditation seriously. You have to step back from the drama and bullshit. You cannot intellectually understand, right? So it says here in this verse, mind does not know mind. The eyes cannot see themselves. Having a mind, one does not see mind. So if you're identifying with the position that you're in right now, you can't see the position that you're in right now. And this is what a lot of things about like white privilege and racism and things like that, a white person can't see that they are in the higher position or in the privileged position in the society because they can't see themselves. They can't see what they identify with. And to listen to the Buddha and to listen to the Dharma, you have to have great faith. You have to listen with the heart and the body and the mind. If you are just kind of badgering and saying, but I don't understand, but I don't understand. Yes, you don't understand. This should create or can create a space of thoughtlessness. And then you can go back to your faith in the Dharma, where it says here, producing thoughts is confusion. So maybe the confusion that you're having is not about you not figuring it out correctly, but you continuously producing thoughts and you identifying with those thoughts that are produced. So to see the Buddha, Bodhidharma is the founder of Zen, the founder of Chan Buddhism. Bodhidharma says, to realize awareness is liberation. Bodhidharma doesn't say to figure out and think about things and understand it through your thoughts is enlightenment. You cannot understand enlightenment through thinking. I'm not creating a space here to have interpersonal relationships with people. Don't think. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Listen, my friend, my life and my experience is never going to be able to help you. I might be in intense physical pain right now. You can't feel it. I might feel very peaceful and blissful right now. You can't feel it. There you go. That's good. Correct, Anon. That's correct. That's precisely what's being talked about here. So there's no need, a tree does not need the label of a tree. A tree does not need the mental construct of what a tree is, the explanation of what a tree is. In the same way, your body and mind does not need an ego, does not need a self, does not need a story. The moon, the sky, the clouds, the earth, the fire, the wind, the water, does not need story, does not need words and phrases, and you don't need thoughts to be free from thinking. I'd like to play this song.
Compassionate action has no limit. Like the smoke dancing in the wind. Not caught or bound by anything. Moving freely in the stillness of peace. I wish your mind's the state of unimpeded ease. I wish your mind's the state of unimpeded ease. Untie my knots of selfish thoughts. Untie my knots of hurtful thought. May I be of use, may I be of benefit, may I be of use, may I be of benefit, may I be of use. Compassionate action has no limit. Like the smoke dancing in the wind. Not caught or bound by anything. Moving freely in the stillness of peace. I wish your mind's a state of unimpeded ease. I wish your mind's a state of unimpeded ease. Like the smoke dancing in the wind. Not caught or bound by anything. Moving freely. I wish your mind's the state of unimpeded ease. I wish your
So, you know, I don't like representing myself this way, but this is what American people want. And I know people say, we would never want that. We would never vote for Trump. You know, not to get political, but this is what people want. Unconsciously or consciously or whatever. They want to see a guy with face paint acting totally insane, yelling and screaming people. And it's my practice and my work and my job to reach out. You know, that's my vow. And that's my interest. So it's a sad state of the world, but it's the state that we live in. It is what it is. And that, Anon user, is the right question. But I can't answer it for you. Nor can I ask it deeply in your own heart. But with a question like that, you're on a fast track to a lot of good things changing very soon. Jesus and Buddha on the path together. You know, there's an anime of Jesus and Buddha. Not the fat Buddha, the actual Buddha, the skinny Buddha. The fat Buddha is the future Buddha by Treya, and also the semi-historical, hagiographical monk Hotai, who they said was a very fat begging monk that just wandered around and played with children and had a big sack that he carried on his back with toys and candies, and went around and was very full of joy. So I don't know how he ended up being Maitreya. Nicholas Kennedy said, the face paint made me think of how crazy things are. And it's funny, sometimes I'll show like the shorts, the videos of me in face paint and stuff to like Vietnamese people that I meet, and they just laugh and are kind of, not in like a maniacal way or a judgmental way, but kind of, you know, see the fun in it or see the lightness in it. I like the face paint too. I don't like representing myself as like this wrathful, crazy character, or I don't like being seen that way because that's not who I am. You know, and people say hurtful things about me and children. I've been working with children my whole life. You know, I've been teaching English to children for years as a monk, working and volunteering at the orphanage and doing all kinds of things like that. And you know, I don't have any hate in my heart for anybody. It's a little bit feeling a nastiness when you get people who want to get involved to cause drama or cause harm. But I grew up with that. You know, I grew up in a household with some mental illness, very aggressive mental illness. And, you know, that's why sometimes I can seem to be a little bit defensive. But, you know, I don't hate anybody. Who is there to hate? Who am I supposed to hate? Am I supposed to hate Michelle? Am I supposed to hate Anon user? Am I supposed to hate my father? Am I supposed to hate Shiva? Who am I supposed to hate? I don't hate anybody. Why would I hold hate or vitriol or like negativity inside of myself to point to someone else? The Buddha said when you hold hate in your heart for someone else, it's like holding a hot coal with the intention to throw it at someone else. But people like hate. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. The crazier I act, the more angry I act, the more hateful I act, the more crazy I look, the more views I get. And people who are here now who actually are connecting with meditation or feel a sense of peace or whatever, they wouldn't even be here if I didn't act like that. So I can't say it's totally wrong. If I can even bring one person in who otherwise wouldn't able to be brought in by me destroying myself and misrepresenting myself to represent for Buddha, then that's great. People talking about, well, we're going to talk with your teacher, we're going to show your teacher those crazy videos. Great. I love my teacher. I love what my teacher's doing. I love helping people. So, you know, this isn't an ego thing for me. This is a life thing for me. Of making merit, of helping people, of sharing the Dharma. If Shiva wanted to go up to my teacher and show him a bunch of videos of me acting crazy and tell him I'm a bad guy and I'm doing all these bad things, great. I support Shiva to do that. What makes people enjoy hate? Intergenerational trauma makes people enjoy hate. And I'm sorry, friends, I understand that this is a live stream, right? But this is also a community space. This is a Buddhist community space. So if someone doesn't know much about what's going on here, they don't know much about the context and they're not involved in what's going on here, then their voice is irrelevant. It's like going to a Buddhist temple or joining a group of people that you're meeting for the first time and then going around and saying, this is wrong, this is how this person is, this is how that person is. This isn't just all about you. You know, I have relationships with my community. I have relationships with my teacher that you don't know about or understand. I have relationships with the monks and nuns that I've, you know, practiced with for years that you don't know about and understand. And so if you're coming here out of the blue for drama or to make a judgment or to hold some strong opinion, and you're not even that interested in Buddhism or meditation, that's crazy. You can do that. You have a right to do that, I guess, but it's just crazy. And it's no excuse that this is a YouTube live stream. This is your life. This is your mind. And it doesn't really, you know, what you believe is your problem. This, you know, this becomes a community when we get to know each other. I know many members of this community because I've been practicing with them, teaching for them, sharing with them for years. So what you believe, who cares what you believe? I don't think Shiva cares that much about. And how can we even care what you believe? We don't even know who you are. Just a username. So there might be something more kind of tricky or strange or weird going on here that's not about me and my life and the people that I'm in a relationship with, but with your mind. And, you know, parasocial relationships. Like you have relationships with me or Shiva or random, you know, just other people watching because you just happen to be here with them. But that's not what a real relationship is about. A real relationship is about intimacy, it's about connection, it's about knowing each other. And me saying that is not about me coming after you, it's me pointing out this like aspects of how to view this situation. How could I come after you? Why would I care to come after you? I have no idea who you are. How could you come after me? I'm questioning you, like, what is the relevance or what is the reality of you saying to a large group of anonymous people that you don't know that you don't believe in this or that you believe in that you might have better things to do with your time and energy?
Nice, Nicholas.
And I don't do this to make money. I do this to make merit. Don't worry about understanding other people. Worry about understanding yourself. Somehow, in the modern day, everybody's a psychologist, everybody's a therapist, everybody's understanding all these other people. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own mind. Because if you're focusing on what other people are thinking and why other people are living the way that they're living, you're going to have a lot of stress in yourself because you're pulling yourself out of your body, and your body needs you. It doesn't need your thinking about what other people do. It needs your presence. It needs your kindness. It needs your wholeness. And you're not going to find wholeness by looking at what other people are doing in their lives. Literally, the live streams. And if we can fight with each other and argue with each other and still care about each other and still support each other and be at peace together, then bravo, we're setting an example for so many people. How many parents divorced because they don't like the way their partner's feet smell or something? Really? And how much did that devastate children's lives? People are talking about, Dr. Rob, you keep berating Shiva. You're so horrible to Shiva. Well, we're friends. We're in a relationship together. And if he can practice peace with that, and I can practice peace with that, then bravo. We can still stay here together at the meditation retreat and try to move forward in our lives. I'm not saying that's a perfect way to be, but at least we can come back to recompense together. It's a striking example of forgiveness. It's a striking example of not being lost in ourself, in our egos. We can refresh and restart and begin again together.
Anon user asks, I mean, in day-to-day life, like enjoying hatred or harm, self or others, on an internal level, what makes people want to see people harmed, etc.?
If you see someone in poverty, it's not enough to be wealthy. You have to be wealthy in relationship to someone else's poverty. So being wealthy isn't just about enjoying your wealth, it's about showing it off. It's about the contrast between people who are poor and people who are healthy. I'll give you a living example. I really liked watching the Australian Border Patrol videos. You ever seen those, Shiva? People fly in from Vietnam or from different countries around the world to Australia, and they get stopped at the border and they get their bags checked and they get interviewed. And I watched that and I said, that is fantastic. That is so interesting. I hope that happens to me. And you know what? It did happen to me, and it was horrible. It was horrible to be intimidated and interrogated, and to have my phone taken from me and scammed, and have spyware put on my phone from the Australian government when I was just coming to visit, to practice meditation, to meet some of my students. So when we watch those crime dramas and we watch people in the interview room, we feel better because we say, well, it's not happening to me, so we feel a sense of detachment from difficult situations. But actually, it can be very unhealthy to do that. When our egos are so intertwined and confused, like mine was before I went to Australia. Still, plenty of intertwinement and confusion. But I thought, whoop-de-doo, I'm going to Australia. And then, you know, I was traumatized. It was traumatizing for me to go through that, to have my privacy invaded, to have me to be treated like a criminal. It was really traumatizing. And what we're working with here, everyone, is a lot of disingenuousness. A lot of people act away here and comment away here that they would never act that way in person. They would never walk up to someone else and say, you're a psychopath, you're a narcissist, you're a freak. That's our culture. That's what people are doing here. I understand people want to have meditation experiences, they want to talk about the Dharma, they want to have a peaceful environment, but the social environment in our culture is not peaceful. So we have to learn how to deal with it and how to transform it. So that's what I'm trying to practice and work with here. And maybe it would be beneficial to listen more so that you can understand more and not be hunkering over the keyboard to make your response. If you want to get to know someone, you have to listen to them without thinking about how you're going to respond. You have to listen from your heart. And if you listen to me from your heart, you might get to know me. If you listen to your father from your heart, you might get to know your father. If you listen to the person at the gas station from your heart, you might get to know that person. If you listen to the crazy person, or you sit and practice compassionate listening with someone who's suffering or someone who's whatevering, you might have a chance to understand that person. But when someone else is speaking or sharing something with us, and we're already thinking about our next question or thinking about why that's right or wrong, we're not actually hearing what they're saying. We're just hearing what we're thinking. And that is a very bad way to create a relationship. And there is a great poverty of relationships in Western culture. We are losing our access to community. We are losing our access to deep and meaningful relationships with others, even our family members. I would ask the children in the chat, how many children here feel they have a deep and meaningful relationship with their mother or their father, if they're not divorced? You know, I ask myself, no, I don't have a very meaningful relationship with them. My parents divorced at a very young age, and it was very difficult for me. How many people here have a deep and meaningful relationship with any kind of community in their lives? This is not what, I'm supposed to be making fun of people that I don't know about not having a relationship with a community? I want people to have a relationship with a community, but many people don't. You know why I know that? Because of how much I have looked for spiritual community online. Spiritual Discord servers, Buddhist Zoom meetings, etc., and how difficult it has been to find those places that are cohesive and active and alive, as well as in person. And Rhiannon, that's called childism. So we can see the angry toddler. Yeah, that's discrimination against children, as if children are inherently less than you. As of course, Shiva with the veganism, as if animals are inherently less than you. So what we're doing is we're using prejudices, we're using prejudgments about others to justify our abuse of them.
Anon user asks, what if the desires are impossible to attain?
Let it go, let it go. I am one with the rain and snow. Let it go, let it go. And I don't care what they're going to say. The storm never bothered me anyway. Let it go. Repeat the mantra in your mind. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Do you know how difficult it is to actually talk with a Tibetan guru or a meditation master monk or someone who has real experience with spirituality? Not just in terms of money or boundaries or applications and forms that you need to fill out and how rare those people are, but just in terms of having the cause and conditions to be around them. And you saw that with Shiva, where he went and sat with my teacher for 20 minutes and he said, wow, I'm changed, I'm reborn. He had a new experience. You will have to let it go. You will have to let go of your own body.
So what do I think if desires are impossible to attain?
Like virgin wife, etc.
Like virgin wife, etc. There are very few desires that are impossible to attain. If desires are hard to attain, you should increase your competence.
What is the first noble truth of the Dhamma, the Buddha?
That the noble truth of suffering,
And the second noble truth,
the cause,
which is craving or desire. So you have to keep that in mind as well. But for lay people, what Sayadaw teaches, and it's very true, you have to do more good deeds. If you do more good deeds, you will get what you want. That's your competency. The competency is in giving, in doing good, in helping others, in listening to the Dharma and practicing meditation, in cultivating the high mind. And then the world will give to you what you need or what you want. You will get what you want if you have the blessings to do that. You know, and I'm really charged up right now. I mean, if I didn't know how to let go, then there'd be a lot of vitriol in me. Don't be intentionally and unnecessarily daft. Meditation is the highest good deed. Don't ask what anybody else needs to do. It's what you need to do. Stop thinking about other people and you'll stop being so stressed out. And I advise people, if you're watching my live stream, I don't know what Shiva's work is going to be in the future, but turn off the comments if you're joining this live stream. This is not about a bunch of crazy people coming in and being disingenuous and hurling insults and trolling and cycling through all this BS and feeding off drama. You're either here for Dr. Rob or here for Shiva, or you're not here for any reason at all other than to waste time and waste energy and take in a bunch of poison from people. It's very dangerous and it's very bad. I can do it because I've trained to detach, to disidentify with myself, and so to disidentify with other people's selves as well. But if you don't have that training, you're constantly creating these personas and these real people and these real stories from all this weird negative energy that's coming in through the chat, and it's not good for you. It's not good for anybody. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be ashamed, my brother in name, 'cause I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. I hold you so tight, and I forgive you at night, and I began again with a whole new mind of love. I see your true colors, Shiva, that's why I love you. I won't be ashamed, and I won't be afraid, even if I make less money and my donors leave me because I'm associating with you, because I see your true colors, and that's why I love you.
Let's get some W's in the chat and donate to Dr. Rob.
And it is funny because we're all here together, so why would we want to fight with each other? We'd want to fight with each other because we want stimulation. Come on, this is boring. Come on, we gotta find something here. Let's contact Rob's teacher and show all the bad things that he's doing, and let's do this, let's do that. Let's fuck with Rob because he smokes cigarettes. Well, I mean, I'm working on that, and I appreciate that Shiva cares so much, and I know that it comes from a very deep place from some people. They want me to be healthy. They don't want to be smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. My partner, my wife, same. So I'm working on it. That's why we're starting the $1,000 Dr. Rob quitting cigarettes GoFundMe very soon. Quitting nicotine very soon. We're planning to do that. We're willing to do that. We dare to do that. Have you ever heard of anything like that before? And to do it from a place of sincerity?
I'll be the one to donate.
Thank you.
If good deeds equal fulfill any desire, virgin wife, donor, etc., the ultimate good deed equals all accomplishments, equals meditation, how to meditate to fulfill all desires.
Don't think. Then you won't have any desires. And if you can't not think, then just watch thoughts without identifying with them. Breathe. Focus on your breathing. And listen, I'm sorry, friends, but if you want a deep teaching, if you want a direct teaching, you have to empty your cup. You come to me and you donate $500 to me, you donate $1,000 to me and say, Dr. Rob, I'd like to have a Zoom meeting with you. I'd like to get some teachings from you. I really want to work through these things. Well, I'm going to do that. And you're going to be in a position to receive because you've emptied out a little bit of your cup. There's a story here from a old-time Zen master, but in recent times. So a university professor that studied Buddhist literature, he went to meet this famous Zen master at this temple in Kyoto. And so he went there, and you know, the Japanese are very formal, so they're sitting down and the tea is arranged and the Zen master is preparing the tea. And so this university professor is asking question after question after question, and the Zen master is just sitting there listening, nodding his head, preparing the tea. So the tea is then prepared, and the professor holds out his cup, and the Zen master starts filling up his cup, filling it up with his hot tea, fills it up to the top, and keeps filling it. It begins to overflow. So the hot water gets on the hands of this university professor, and he says, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?" And the Zen master said to him, "A cup that is full cannot receive any more. If I am able to help you, it's going to be because you have emptied out some of your cup."
Do you have a power bank?
I have one that's dead in my room. Also, modern society doesn't allow us to be very individuated. Most people are not very individuated. Most people fit into a kind of fill-in form of personhood. So they consider themselves to be separate from everyone else. They consider themselves to be individuals, but primarily their identity is made up of the same thing that makes up all these other individuals. So for example, middle-aged men drinking beer, watching football, and listening to Donald Trump, who work in construction. There's hundreds of thousands of those guys, etc. You can kind of get the point. So growing up in a modern education system in America, you don't have many experiences, deep and meaningful experiences that make you an individual. That means that you are constantly finding your identity in the identity of the others around you. Because your identity is not individuated, you're constantly taking on the thoughts and the opinions of others as true because you're not thinking for yourself. You think you're thinking for yourself, but it's just like a habit of programming that has been given to you. So as human beings, it's necessary that we go through rites of passage. We go through rites of passage with groups of women, with groups of men. We become a man, we become a woman, not just because we become 16 or 18 or 21 or 25 or whatever, but because we've been brought up in a society and actually we've become individuated. We've gone through initiations, we've received transmissions from elders, we've had our own unique experiences. And the truth is that many American people have not had unique, meaningful experiences in their lives to individuate them from the thoughts of the masses. And when you do become individuated, you can very clearly see the personas and the identities of other people. I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating. I've hundreds of thousands of people have come through my live streams, and I've read thousands and tens of thousands of comments for sure. And I can't tell you how rare unique comments are. Unique people coming in and saying, hey, I'm interested, just saying something unique. You get the same kind of comments and the same kind of personas over and over and over again, repeatedly. So people may be having a kind of allergic reaction to this because this is outside of their purview of experience. And that's good, not bad. That's something to be interested in and curious about, not something to spit in the face of because it's not another, hot lady shaking her butt on TikTok or YouTube. Because from that position of not being individuated and being like a part of this cultural mass of psychology, everything is supposed to fit into your understanding because you only fit into the cultural mass of understanding. So when something is outside of that understanding, you're either aggressive towards it or you are willfully ignorant about that not being something that you know about and have experience with. And you limit yourself in that way. You limit your capacity to grow and learn and explore and build new relationships in that way. And now people get an identity and reify themselves on being against something, which is even more problematic than getting an identity by being for something. I'm for this, I support this. I'm against this, I don't support this. I like Dr. Rob, Dr. Rob's great. I don't like Dr. Rob, Dr. Rob's a mess. That's not meaningful, that's not valuable, that doesn't bring value to your life or to anybody else's life. And so what that actually tends to be is just you trying to convince other people to either like or dislike according to what you feel. So the only thing that you may be doing here, a lot of times this happens, is trying to get other people to not like this. What's meaningful about that? Let's all not like Black people. Let's all not like Mexican people. Let's all not like immigrants. Let's all like money. Let's all like cars. Let's all like food. Let's all like Dr. Rob. Let's all not like Dr. Rob. Let's all like Shiva. Let's all not like Shiva. So, what is encouraged and invited here, rather than that, is play. You can come here and you can play. But don't bring that toxicity and that despicableness and that nastiness into this environment, because I don't want anything to do with it. I won't accept that gift. All right, everybody, that's all for tonight from Dr. Rob. Time to take a rest. It was nice to spend time with all of you. I hope this was a rich and rewarding live stream, and see you again tomorrow for another 12 hours of live streaming.
Do you have a USB-C to USB-C cable with you here?
I don't know. We can check. There's a plug right there. I don't have a USB-C cable.
Can you take this and charge this? It'll show you when it's charging.
I only have one charger and I have to charge my stuff. But I can try to do it, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Good night, Shiva.
Good night.
All right, everybody, let's get some W's in the chat for another successful live stream. Different cultures and different societies have different metrics of that. Do, be, don't be, do. So you have to look at your culture. Don't try to join another culture. Look at your culture and see how you can find community in that culture and meaningful activities in that culture. It's like we're trying to find a way to volunteer in the Congo or in Africa. Why don't we look for a way to volunteer in our hometown? Sure, your personality will basically become more pure as you practice meditation and follow along with the teachings of Buddhism. So you might still have certain personality traits, but they won't be controlled by anger and greed and negativity anymore. And it's really an interesting process to experience and go through. It's beautiful. And mystical and profound. So they call the Dharma, the Buddhist Dharma, they call it the medicine that can cure that which was thought of as incurable. And it's very true. Don't be in a hurry to call someone a teacher, but don't be in a hurry to not call to say that someone's not a teacher either. Take your time and listen from your heart and see from yourself. See from your heart. Thank you, Ben Group. I'll do my best to not let that go to my head. Let's go see what Seattle is up to. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I am solid. I am free. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. dwell. Boom, boom. The Buddha is seen in an autumn leaf. The Dharma is a floating cloud. The Sangha body is everywhere. My true home is right here. Breathing in, flowers are blooming. Breathing out, I am aware that rainbows are swaying. My mind is at peace. My true home is right here. And this work that I'm doing is dangerous. Don't get it twisted.